I would like to talk to you about a topic that affects millions of people around the world, directly or indirectly: addiction. Recognizing and addressing addiction is a crucial step towards recovery and a healthier, happier life. However, the question arises here: how will a person understand whether he or she is becoming an addict or not? So we have to know about the signs and symptoms of addiction, and I want to emphasize the importance of this issue. There are 10 major points which are eye-catching, and we all must keep a note of these factors.
The first sign is loss of control. People find it difficult to control your use of a substance or engagement in a behavior. They may have tried to cut down or quit but were unsuccessful. Now, how it impacts on people? Impulsive behavior. Loss of control often results in impulsive actions. Despite knowing that engaging in the addictive behavior or consuming the substance is harmful, the individual is compelled to do so on impulse. This can lead to immediate gratification but long-term regret. Conflict with values. For many people, addiction causes a significant misalignment with their personal values and morals. They may value health, family, or career success, yet addiction leads them to compromise these values repeatedly. Loss of autonomy. Addiction can make individuals feel like they've lost autonomy over their own lives. They might observe themselves engaging in behaviors they never thought they would, even when they understand the consequences. Escalation. As addiction progresses, individuals often find that the amount or frequency of their substance use or behavior escalates. What may have started as a casual habit can turn into a relentless compulsion. This escalation further underscores the loss of control. Self-blame and guilt. Those experiencing loss of control often grapple with intense self-blame and guilt. It's essential to recognize that addiction is a complex medical condition, not only a moral failing. Cycle of despair. The feeling of being trapped in this cycle of loss of control can lead to despair. People may lose hope and believe that they are destined to remain in this pattern indefinitely. Impact on self-esteem. Addiction can severely impact one's self-esteem and self-worth. This is partly because of the repeated failure to control the behavior, which can erode one's self-confidence.
The second major sign is cravings. People experience strong, persistent urges or cravings for the substance or behavior. These cravings can be overwhelming and hard to resist. Let me take you all a little bit deeper into it. Intensity. Cravings are often described as intense and overwhelming. It's as if the mind and body are demanding the substance or behavior with an urgency that can be challenging to ignore. These cravings can be so strong that they feel impossible to resist. Physical and psychological. Cravings can manifest in both physical and psychological forms. Physically, they might involve sensations like a racing heart, sweating, or muscle tension. Psychologically, they create a relentless fixation on the object of addiction, making it difficult to think about anything else. Triggers. Cravings are frequently triggered by specific cues or situations associated with the addictive behavior. For example, a person trying to quit smoking may experience strong cravings when they see someone else smoking or when they are in a place where they used to smoke. These triggers can be both external environmental and internal emotional or mental states. Persistence. Cravings can persist for varying durations. They might last for just a few minutes, or they can stretch on for hours or even days. The duration and intensity can vary depending on the individual, the substance or behavior, and their stage in recovery. Cycle of relapse. Cravings are a significant factor contributing to the cycle of relapse in addiction. When cravings become overwhelming, individuals may give in to the urge to temporarily alleviate the discomfort, even if they genuinely desire to quit. This can result in a sense of failure and perpetuate the addictive cycle.
The third sign is neglecting responsibilities. People begin to neglect their responsibilities at work, school, or home. Their addiction starts to interfere with your daily life and obligations. Let me set up some examples. Work and career. For many individuals, addiction can disrupt their ability to perform effectively at work. This may manifest as decreased productivity, absenteeism, missed deadlines, or even job loss. Academic obligations. In the case of students, addiction can negatively impact their educational pursuits. This could involve poor academic performance, truancy, or dropping out of school altogether. Family and home life. Addiction can strain family relationships and household responsibilities. A person may neglect their duties as a parent, spouse, or caregiver, causing emotional distress and instability within the family. Financial consequences. The financial aspects of neglecting responsibilities cannot be overstated. Addiction can lead to overspending on the substance or behavior, accumulating debt, and even resorting to illegal or unethical means to obtain funds for their addiction. Social isolation. As responsibilities are neglected, social and recreational activities may take a back seat. Individuals often withdraw from friends and social circles, becoming more isolated and focusing solely on their addiction. Legal issues. In extreme cases, addiction can lead to legal problems. Engaging in illegal activities to support the addiction, such as theft or drug-related offenses, can result in arrests and legal consequences. Mental and physical health. Neglecting responsibilities can also have a significant impact on a person's mental and physical health.
The fourth sign is social and relationship problems. Addiction can lead to conflicts with family and friends. You might isolate yourself or have strained relationships due to your behavior. The concern is how it happened. Conflict and tension. Addiction can lead to frequent conflicts and tension within relationships. Friends and family may become frustrated, worried, or hurt by the individual's behavior. Isolation. Many individuals struggling with addiction may isolate themselves from their social support networks. They may withdraw from family gatherings, social events, and activities they once enjoyed. Codependency. In some cases, loved ones may become enablers, inadvertently supporting the addict's behavior by providing excuses, financial aid, or avoiding confrontations. Strained relationships. Addiction can place significant strain on relationships, causing them to deteriorate over time. Spouses, partners, and children can bear the brunt of the emotional and financial repercussions of addiction. Loss of friendships. Friendships are often casualties of addiction. Friends may distance themselves from the addicted individual due to their behavior, unreliability, or the negative impact of the addiction on shared activities. Parental concern. Parents of individuals struggling with addiction often face profound worry and distress. They may fear for their child's safety and well-being. Intimate relationships. Addiction can wreak havoc on intimate relationships. It often leads to a lack of emotional connection, sexual difficulties, and infidelity. Intimate partners may feel rejected, unloved, or unimportant.
The fifth sign is tolerance. People require more of the substance or behavior to achieve the desired effect. Over time, you may find that you need increasing amounts to feel the same level of satisfaction. Now, how it works. Pharmacological and behavioral tolerance. Tolerance can occur in both substance addiction and behavioral addiction. In substance addiction, the body becomes less responsive to the substance's effects, leading to a need for higher doses to achieve the same high. In behavioral addiction, a person may need to engage in the behavior more frequently or for more extended periods to experience the same emotional or psychological reward. Progressive nature. Tolerance is often progressive, meaning it tends to worsen over time as the body adapts to the substance or behavior. The individual's cravings and the desire for that initial level of satisfaction becomes stronger, leading to a dangerous cycle of escalating consumption, risk of overdose. In substance addiction, the development of tolerance can be particularly perilous. Individuals who increase their substance use to overcome tolerance thresholds may unintentionally consume dangerous amounts, putting themselves at risk of overdose, which can be life-threatening. Diminished pleasure. Tolerance can diminish the pleasurable effects of the substance or behavior. As a result, individuals may continue using or engaging in the behavior not to experience pleasure, but merely to stave off withdrawal symptoms or cravings, perpetuating the cycle of addiction.
The sixth sign is withdrawal symptoms. When people try to stop or reduce your use, they experience physical or psychological withdrawal symptoms. These can be uncomfortable or even painful. Physical withdrawal symptoms. It is the result of the body's dependence on the addictive substance. These symptoms vary depending on the substance but can include nausea, vomiting, headaches, muscle aches, sweating, tremors, and more. For example, opioid withdrawal may lead to symptoms like diarrhea, runny nose, and muscle cramps, while alcohol withdrawal can result in seizures and delirium tremens, DTs. Psychological withdrawal symptoms. In addition to physical symptoms, individuals often experience a range of psychological withdrawal symptoms. These can include anxiety, depression, irritability, mood swings, restlessness, and intense cravings for the substance or behavior. These symptoms can be challenging to cope with and can significantly contribute to relapse. Duration and severity. The severity and duration of withdrawal symptoms can vary depending on factors such as the type of substance or behavior involved, the duration of addiction, and the individual's overall health. In some cases, withdrawal symptoms may peak within a few days and gradually subside, while in others, they can persist for weeks or even longer.
The seventh sign is loss of interest. Loss of interest is a common and distressing feature of addiction. It refers to the diminishing enthusiasm and engagement in activities and hobbies that the individual once found enjoyable and fulfilling. Here are some additional insights. Hedonic adaptation in addiction. The brain experiences a phenomenon called hedonic adaptation. This means that the pleasurable effects of the addictive substance or behavior diminish over time. As a result, the person needs to engage in the addictive behavior or consume more of the substance to experience any form of satisfaction or pleasure, negative reinforcement, over time. The motivation to engage in the addictive behavior or substance shifts from seeking pleasure to avoiding discomfort. The person may continue using to stave off the discomfort of withdrawal symptoms or cravings, which further erodes interest in other activities. Diminished enjoyment. Activities that used to bring joy and satisfaction often lose their appeal when compared to the immediate and intense rewards provided by the addictive substance or behavior. As a result, individuals may no longer find meaning or pleasure in hobbies, relationships, or work. Lack of goals and aspiration. The loss of interest can extend to one's goals and aspiration. Long-term dreams and plans may be set aside in favor of the short-term gratification offered by the addiction. This can lead to a sense of stagnation and hopelessness.
The eighth sign is continued use despite consequences. People continue using the substance or engaging in the behavior even though it leads to negative consequences, such as health problems, legal issues, or financial difficulties. For example, escalation of consequences. Despite experiencing negative consequences as a direct result of their addiction, individuals often continue to use the substance or engage in the addictive behavior. These consequences can escalate over time and become increasingly severe, including deteriorating physical and mental health, damaged relationships, legal problems, and financial ruin. Impaired judgment. Addiction can impair an individual's judgment and decision-making abilities. They may prioritize the immediate gratification or relief provided by the addiction over long-term well-being and life goals. This short-sighted focus can lead to a vicious cycle of self-destructive behavior. Denial and rationalization. To justify their continued use, people with addiction often engage in denial and rationalization. They may downplay the severity of the consequences, shifting blame onto external factors or minimizing the impact of their actions on themselves and others. Desire for relief. Many people with addiction continue using because they seek relief from emotional pain, stress, or anxiety. The substance or behavior provides temporary relief, which reinforces its use, despite the negative long-term consequences.
The ninth sign is secrecy and denial. People hide their addictive behavior from others or deny the extent of their problem. This secrecy is often a sign of addiction. Let me elaborate this to you. Secrecy. Many people with addiction become adept at concealing their addictive behaviors from others, especially when they sense that their actions are socially unacceptable or may lead to negative consequences. This secrecy often involves hiding evidence of substance use or engaging in the addictive behavior in private. Denial. Denial is a powerful psychological defense mechanism used by individuals with addiction to protect themselves from facing the reality of their problem. They may minimize the extent of their addiction, downplay its consequences, or even convince themselves that they don't have a problem at all. This self-deception can be a significant barrier to seeking help. Dishonesty. Secrecy involves a degree of dishonesty and deception. Individuals with addiction may lie about their whereabouts, expenditures, or actions to keep their addictive behavior hidden. This dishonesty can strain relationships and erode trust. Fear of stigma and judgment. The fear of being stigmatized or judged can drive secrecy and denial. Many people with addiction worry about how their behavior will be perceived by others and may go to great lengths to maintain a facade of normalcy.
The last but not the least, 10th sign is failed attempts to quit. People made multiple attempts to quit or cut back, but they have been unsuccessful in maintaining abstinence or control. Let's explore the concept in the context of addiction. Failed attempts to quit are common and often disheartening feature of addiction. They signify that individuals have made multiple earnest efforts to quit or reduce their substance use or engagement in the addictive behavior, but have been unsuccessful in maintaining abstinence or control. Here are some key points to consider. Frustration and disappointment. Failed attempts to quit can lead to feelings of frustration, disappointment, and self-blame. Individuals may genuinely want to overcome their addiction, but their inability to do so can erode their self-esteem and motivation to change. Relapse. Relapse is a term often associated with these failed attempts. It refers to a return to the addictive behavior or substance use after a period of abstinence or control. Relapse is common in addiction, and it can occur for various reasons, such as encountering triggers, stress, or underlying emotional issues. Learning opportunity. While it can be disheartening, each failed attempt to quit can also be viewed as a learning opportunity. It provides insight into the individual's triggers and weaknesses, which can be addressed and managed in future attempts at recovery. Complex nature of addiction. Failed attempts to quit underscore the complex nature of addiction. It's not merely a matter of willpower but involves profound psychological, biological, and environmental factors that make it challenging to break free from addiction.
I hope you liked this video. For more information about addiction, subscribe to our channel. Stay safe, stay sober, and thank you for your time.